It's okay to speak up even if it disappoints others. How hard is it for you to stand up for yourself when? Just start with that question. Right, what do you think about that?
It depends on what the situation is. Like,
Just like generally, right?
I think it's important, like, most of the time to stand up for yourself.
Yeah, it says a lot about your character when if you do, in and if you don't. Okay, when do you think it's important to do so?
If it's a less serious situation, then it's important. But like, it depends on like
Don't you
who the
mean like?
person.
Don't you mean like if it's a more serious
I
situation?
mean, like if the person has, the person you're talking to. It depends on who the character, like this person, what kind of character the person you're speaking to has. Like, just take a random example. If you're talking to the principal, then you can't really stand up for yourself if it's something you did wrong. But if you did do something wrong and they're blaming you for doing something wrong, then I think it's important to stand up for yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Read that.
So all jobs should have the same salary. So how would society change if everyone had the same salary? Are there pros and cons?
I do not think that all jobs should have the same salary because the salary is what motivates people to get a higher degree or a higher like level of education, and if jobs that require higher level of education receive like more or receive the same amount of monthly salary as other like menial jobs, then I think it just wouldn't work.
Yeah, like you said,
Then people just wouldn't educate themselves. Then people would just do normal jobs and they get the same amount of money. Like it's no point. Yeah.
exactly like you said, it motivates people
Yeah.
to reach high positions and more
Because
important like
yeah.
positions in society.
Because if that would be the case, then there's no point for to educate yourself for the like
Exactly. There's no point in like becoming a rocket scientist if you
no
could just become a janitor.
like you could educate yourself on your free time, but you still have an easy job that you still get enough money for. Like
If they had the same salary, it would like be more about the will to do something to like
yeah,
contribute to society. But most people are probably just lazy and don't want to do that. They just want the money, and if it's the same salary, then it doesn't really matter. So like,
yeah, I think we already went through the pros and cons of that. Okay, so everyone should do something for the environment every day. What do you think you can do for the environment?
uh, what you could do is stop driving cars. I guess.
If you're in a situation,
If you're in a city, like if you're in a city where you have like close access to everything, you don't really need to drive a car to get there. You could just get a bike or walk there, so you can reduce emissions.
yeah, if you can,
Yeah, like I said, if you're in the city, like
but
close access to everything.
but it doesn't have to be about transport. It could be like just fixing clothes or something, like reusing clothes that maybe don't fit you anymore, or just donate clothes instead of like throwing them away.
Yeah, like reusing things.
Yeah, I think most people already do something for the environment, just that they don't realize it.
Yeah, I do
It
that.
probably doesn't really have that much of a impact on like the general.
Depends on how many people do it.
Yeah,
If it's a lot of people, then
I mean Sweden is already like leading and not maybe not leading, but like it
one of the
is a good.
biggest like green
Yeah, you say green.
electricity.
Yeah, no, but like recyclables. Like Sweden already recycle a lot or try to recycle a lot of the resources that we use. So that's already something. Do you already do something?
I guess one of the things I do is I sort the trash, if that counts. I don't know.
It
And
probably does count.
yeah, my parents like they leave clothes that my older brothers have had for like the old younger brothers that are like so we can reuse clothes like you said earlier. But we don't think about it. It's more of like saving money instead of just doing it for the environment. So people, I guess some people do it with it in mind, but most people probably don't.
All right, do read that.
Truth is more important than kindness. How do you balance honesty with being considerate? Is it better to always be truthful?
Okay, so uh, I think truth should be more important than kindness, but it's just that
You could be brutally
yeah,
honest.
you could, but it's just that it wouldn't really be like socially acceptable. And if if the truth, uh, if the truth means people thinking bad about you for not being kind, then it's not worth it. And that
You
depends
have
on
to
what truth
be
it is.
you have to be respectful of others. You can't just
Like
be brutally
I
honest.
don't think that truth applies to like honesty applies to all situations. You could take like for example your like babies. It's not like parents are truthful to their like 5 year
To their
olds
kids.
because they're kind to them. Like
You could
and they
have like white lies and stuff like
yeah.
that.
So I think I would accept like parents who lie for the better of their like child and shit.
Yeah, in that context. But then there's also context where lying could be worse than telling the truth
Yeah.
and being kind.
But it's like generally divided into white lies and black lies. That's it.
Yeah, but being truthful can be disrespectful and respectful at times, but most of the time it's just mostly disrespectful. So in social manners, it's probably best to lie a little bit than just to be
Yeah.
fully dishonest, not fully honest.
I think how you balance honesty with being considerate, you just do it. You think about it in the situation. It's not like there's some formula for it. But
No, you learn in what situations you kind of have to lie. You don't have to lie, but in what situations it's best to lie,
I
and
mean,
what
you only
situations.
lie if it's not like you shouldn't lie if it's beneficial only to you, because that would mean that you're a bad person.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying either. I'm saying it's like it depends on the
If you're doing it
context
for the better of the
of
person you're
someone
talking
else.
to,
Yeah,
then or somebody else, then but it depends a lot on the context. But sure, is it better to always be truthful? I think we already
how do you
answered that.
balance honesty with being
Yeah,
considerate?
we kind of already answered that.
Yeah, like you said, it depends on if it's for someone else or if it's for you, because like it's kind of like
Yeah.
it's a fine balance that you learn to adjust as you get
I
older, I
mean, I
guess.
think that would also have like a big impact on a person's childhood if their parents were brutally honest, like all the time. Not like in a negative manner, but they just say the truth. They don't say like they don't over exaggerate it. Like
Yeah, but then
let's say a
again,
kid paints like a painting or something, and then they show it to the parents, and they're like, "Yeah, this is ugly shit." Like that's over exaggerating. They don't have to say that it's ugly. Just say that if they say that it's not good, then that's honest. But what do you gain from that? What you gain is your kid being sad. Like
yeah, but
so,
then again, as a parent, you gotta like slowly get more honest as they grow up. So like that kind of like coincides with the
yeah,
question with balancing it. How do you balance honesty with being considerate? You gotta balance it so that when your kid grows up, you gotta be more and more honest. You can't just lie all the time like they did when they were young. So like,
yeah, obviously,
but that also like then you become less honest and less kind as a parent. But the kid is older and has matured more, and they'll understand that it's like not meant that
yeah.
way. If you get what I mean.
It's a big like debate, about the confidentiality of like adoption, like biological fathers and mothers. Like if the adopted kid wants to know their biological parents, and if they still live, then they should have the right to know that. But like
Yeah, they should.
the parents kind of maybe they'll sign like a contract that they don't want to be found or something.
Yeah, so it kind of depends that on how just morals in general.
Yeah.
If you're a good or a bad person, it just depends on that. So it varies from person to person. It's very subjective. I guess that's it.